Well, I got to get the taste of scorpion out of my mouth.
Perfect time.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What does scorpion taste like?
Tastes like tarantula.
That answers nothing of what I...
Okay.
What does tarantula taste like? I feel like
Like-
we're going to go down this rabbit hole.
Well, are you chewing or not?
Not chewing. Let's
Not
just-
chewing.
Not chewing.
Okay,
Just
so not
on the taste
marshmallow.
buds.
Tastes like tarantula and scorpion. I've found that they both taste a lot like blood.
By the
Or
way,
that might just be the blood. I'm not sure.
God.
Maybe they're tasteless, and I'm just tasting all the blood.
you know what? That could be it.
Yeah.
By the way, if you hear a random snort in the background, it's Julie back there. She snorts. So usually, I think the record for the guest of how many times we've gotten her to snort is 5. So right now you're doing well.
We're on the path.
We're on the board,
We've got like 2 sentences for one snort, and I just fucked it up. I just made it 3.
You know what? That's just.
I'm gonna calm down.
Welcome back, everybody, to a
I'm
new
back.
episode of the Hey Big Head Show. What an intro this was, by the way. This is going to be such a great episode. Let me tell you something. One of my favorite things about having this podcast is and having the team with me is we get a chance to go out of town and just do some fun shit, and it's such a good time. And last week, the team and I, we went to Mandalay Bay, and we saw an incredible show, in a phenomenal show called Ghost Stories. It was so good that we had to have the creator and host of the show, Kent Axell, on our show. So Kent, welcome to the show.
Thank
Here
you.
you are.
It's good to be here.
Now, listen, I haven't looked at your LinkedIn profile yet, but I'm going to assume it says something along the lines of Kent Axell, magician, mentalist, storyteller, performer, and creator of Ghost Stories. Would I be close to that?
Yeah, if I were to, I mean, I actually haven't looked at my LinkedIn profile in a long time.
I have.
I think last time I went on it, had the trade show
Yes.
angle on my profile. It said something like I build crowds at booths or something like that. But it should say storyteller.
Yes.
That's a way better corporate
So
angle.
much better. We actually did look at it. It said the trade show and also said part-time at Arby's as cashier since
yep, yeah.
2002. So you might want to update your
Important.
LinkedIn, just saying.
Then they know I get the experience.
I like you, man. I've seen your show twice, and I don't. Still, both times there's only one act that you did that was what I saw the first time, and I still don't know how you did it. And I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give too much info away. But everything you did, I was so blown away with the magic side, the storytelling side. And I feel like I'm just repeating what I just said, but you do such a great job at hitting all of those marks that I feel like Ghost Stories is a home run. How long have you been at Mandalay Bay for doing Ghost Stories?
We've been doing that show there for 3 years, a little over 3 years, like 3 years and a month at this. No, 3 years and 3 months. My goodness, yeah. So it's been quite a ride. If you're calling it a bullseye, that's awesome. There are obviously things on our side that we're like, man, we've been talking about improving that for 2 years and we haven't touched it yet, so we should probably address it. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly juxtaposed strongly against other things that you might see in Vegas.
Sure.
That's for sure. So that, I think, works in our favor to some degree. One of the most common pieces of feedback that we get in the show is that people they didn't know what to expect.
Yes.
And that they are pleasantly surprised with what they got, which that's all I could possibly ask for, and we're consistently trying to push for more.
Honestly, the less you know going into it, the better. As long as you understand you're going into a show where there's magic, there's some mentalism, I feel like, there's a story aspect to it, and that's all you need to know, and it's an intimate setting. Mm-hmm. Those things, you're golden. That's it.
Yeah, if you enjoy a spooky vibe, that's something that I've always said for people who are asking me, how do you sell tickets to a show like this in Las Vegas? And I'm like, it's weird because I don't want to give away too many details about it, although it's hard to find my ideal crowd is somewhere in the realm of like the OG Nightmare Before Christmas goth lesbian fans or something like that. Like somewhere in there is my, but people do tend to like it, even though they don't really know what to expect coming in. And I'm not certain that it's true that you the less you know, the better. Although it is. Yeah, I don't know. You can't. It's crazy because I think I'm selling a vibe. Is what's happening. You're selling a vibe, and people are like, "Oh, that vibe looks cool," and then they buy tickets to the vibe, and then they're like, "Okay, did what I see match with the vibe?" The answer is yes. Did I expect what I saw? The answer is no. Right, and that's something in that realm, I think. That's about where we are.
I like the fact that it works hand in hand with the fact that you're inside the Prohibition, but the 1923 Prohibition Bar too, right? So like you go there, you have a few drinks. It's a dark, not dark, but I guess it is like dark.
It's physically dark, for
sure. Physically,
yeah.
exactly, yes.
It's not morbidly dark.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
And then you go into the show, and that's when you start to get into some sort of morbid facts, but it's more along the lines of it gets you set up for what's next to come. And you can also go to the bar too and just enjoy your time there. But going to your show, it's like, step one and then step two. And I think that adds a fun aspect to it.
And it feels like you're getting deeper. I mean, the bane of our existence on the showrunner side is that, can I curse here?
Don't you fucking dare.
That fucking hallway, man. I think I already did, actually. I didn't even ask. I think I already cursed.
You know what? That's what I like about you. You just go for it.
I'm just going to be me.
You just be you.
But it does kind of like, you're going through like levels, right? And you're going like the first level of secrecy, and then you there's a few theatrics that happen in the room that you're waiting in, which are slightly which go to a slightly deeper level, and then you get brought into the room itself, which feels like a tertiary level of depth. But there's that fucking hallway in the middle, and
It's tricky.
It's tricky because we've been brainstorming solutions on that hallway for quite a. If you haven't seen the show, if you've seen the show, you know what I mean. If you haven't seen it, then
you will know.
Give me
you will know what you mean.
You will know.
Yes.
You will know when you see it. But I don't think it poses a huge problem. But it is kind of this thing where, the benefit not of the hallway, but the benefit of being in the speakeasy itself is that you're going in through this. I mean, in this venue, there's this beautiful entrance, which is this bookshelf. So you're already getting this like. Okay, the feeling of entering into something that feels like immersive-ish. And then as you go deeper, now you're going into a separate room from the bar where you're now waiting. And then in the waiting, stuff happens in there too. Yes. And then you're being pulled into a third. And it just kind of feels like, I'm not sure if I could even find my way out at this point if I had to. Which is cool, You're 3 layers deep, and now you're mine.
Well, in the process of y'all figuring out what to do with the hallway, you can at least put a positive spin on it in your own mind and try and view it as almost like a purgatory from one room to the other. You're in this weird transition. Where am I going?
It's it's purgatory. That's a good way of looking at it.
I've thought like in the sort of cockles of my mind, I've thought of putting like burlap sacks over people's heads and like chaining them together and taking them into the room.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love everything about that.
Just imagine like a chain of people grabbing onto each other with blindfolds or bags over their heads, walking through the casino. And it's like, that's pretty good advertising.
That would be fantastic advertising.
Yeah,
people would be like, "What's going on over there?"
That's some Barnum shit.
You would go viral on social media without a doubt. For sure.
I mean, there's this whole liabilities thing.
That minor details.
Yeah. I wish I were the one that were paying the insurance bill, and then I would be able to make that decision. Actually, I'm glad that I'm not.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure it's a hefty price tag.
Yeah, for sure. That would be quite a thing, though. In the future. If actually, I mean, this venue treats us so well. Like, this is a great venue. Mm-hmm. We have a really, really good situation here. I don't actually ever envision moving away from this venue, but if we ever did, then full control would allow for some really interesting, spooky elements that we just can't really do on the street.
Not yet. I'm sure you have a whole notepad of ideas that you just keep adding to over time.
Like, what if we actually just like kidnapped someone every time? Nah, bad idea. Nah, okay.
That actually reminds me, we haven't seen Brandon since the show. Julie, have you seen him in the past week and a half?
No, he's probably still lost in that
Brandon.
hallway.
We don't talk about Brandon.
Brandon makes a fabulous papusa.
I tell you what I like about you already is your vocabulary is on a whole different level. I respect the hell out of a great vocabulary.
He puts up a little bit of a fight, but Brandon is a damn good cook. Let me tell you that much.
God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless him. We miss you, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. We miss you. Where are you? Where are you?
Come home.
Come home.
Crazy.
I want to learn a little bit more about you. I definitely want to dive into more about today and how you got here, but I want to learn a little bit more about you. You started
Mostly
magic.
Sahara.
What'd you say?
Mostly Sahara.
Okay.
Was
Yes.
how I got here.
Yes, that sounds about right. Just
Yeah.
straight shot all the way down.
Yes.
Any red lights?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I showed up 3 minutes before we were supposed to start. What do you think? I'm actually just late to everything?
You know what? I'll take
I
it.
am completely always late to everything. I'm sorry.
You were so wait. What's late to you then? Because you got here 3 minutes beforehand. What's late
Oh,
for you?
well, in the performer world, you're taught that like 15 minutes early is on time.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and on time is late.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we were supposed to like start. I didn't know if this was a lie. I didn't do my research. I'm sorry.
Listen, you know
I
what?
didn't even know that Piff didn't bring Mr. Piffles.
I know. Piff said the same thing. He said, "Where am I? There's no sign outside on the office. Am I going to get murdered here?"
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So again, this is a similar situation. The less you know, the better
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You're selling a vibe. Cool.
That's what
okay.
I'm trying to do.
That was good banter, everyone. Okay. Let's.
Julie, get the knapsack out and put it over his head, please.
Okay,
Yes.
I will.
Yes.
Shackles too.
Yes.
Yes, please. I can get spookier.
Yes. Let's pause for a second. Do you want more water, by the way? I didn't even see you fucking thing.
How's that look? Is it cool?
It looks really good.
You look
Yeah.
like you're about to hack into our database right
Nice.
now. That's
look
what you
cool.
look like.
That's the. I'm cool.
It's not a phase, it's a lifestyle. That's
On the face, Mom. I would love some more water.
yes. Julie, do you mind getting some more water?
Yeah, I got it.
Is that possible? Thank you.
Yeah, we got you. It's a little toasty in here.
Okay. So, okay, are we taking a pause?
Yeah.
Okay, we're pausing.
Pausing.
Thank you.
Get him a couple waters.
Yeah, no, this
Please.
cup sucks.
Again, I want you hydrated.
Stupid fucking.
Just throw it with the others.
I'm really glad that didn't hit something valuable.
No, you're good.
Actually.
All the valuable stuff is in front of us.
Oh, good.
Yes. In between us.
Yeah, good.
That's the moneymaker.
Is that 2?
That's all right.
No. Yeah. No. One of those has to be for you.
Listen, we like to spoil our guests. He's going to have a stack full of water cups by the end of the show.
They're dumping him in the toilet.
You should keep collecting them to see.
That'd be awesome.
That's yeah, just keep track of all of them.
I can hold a lot of water
We'll send him the bill after.
in my body.
Right.
Yes. All right, so you got started in Magic around the age of 7, is that right?
Yeah, about
Ish?
that. I would say I keep telling people 9, although I'm not sure if that's a lie.
Please be honest with me, though.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, like,
You were single digits at the time.
as a young man of late single digits.
Yes.
My it's a rather cliched story, but my uncle showed me some really amazing magic, and I was like, if you can. Like, if there are magicians watching this, I mean, try to put yourself in this position because you're from a privileged place of being able to know, but to talk to the people who are not magicians, which is probably at least a few of you.
Mm-hmm.
So my uncle, he is Uncle Kiff. He's technically my grandfather's brother, which is, so
Close
like
enough.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But he took a coin out and he handed me a. He handed me a dime and an X-Acto blade with which to, well, no, not like a box cutter, with which to mark the dime. And I'm like, Kiffy, markers exist. And he's like, no, use the knife. And I'm like, all right, I'm 9. So I marked the dime with a little X with the knife because they can do that. And then I remembered where the mark was. And he took and it wasn't elegant or anything like that, but he took the coin and he put it in his pocket. Immediately out of his pocket, instead of holding a coin, he was holding a matchbook, or a matchbox rather, and it was covered in rubber bands all around it like this, all directions. And he said, "Here, open that up," and I opened it up, and inside that, can you guess what was inside that?
I'm going to say the dime.
No, it was another matchbox, smaller. Also covered in rubber bands all the way around, every single direction. And inside that, I won't make you guess because you'll be wrong.
Thank you.
Was a little bag with a rubber band wrapped around the top of it like this. It looked like a Santa Claus bag, right? And when I took that rubber band, inside the bag was in fact the dime. And it was totally miraculous to me. It's like, wait, now not only can you kind of like begin to fathom how somebody could maybe get it inside the rubber bandy box, but then like inside another one and then inside a bag, like wrapped around the top like this is just insane. So it was really miraculous to me, even though it was done without any like, you know, all those things magicians think are important, presentation, finesse, like all that stuff. It was just like purely impossible. Right, to my little 9-year-old brain.
Of course.
And
to my 41-year-old brain, it's impossible.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It was like, what? And that's part of the beauty and the curse of magic as an art form. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the long and short of it is that, like, a couple weeks or months later, I can't remember, he taught me how he did that. And he showed me the secret. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And so I went to study more. And by the next family reunion, I had something like 4 or 5 hours worth of bad, but tolerable material. It was really, really fun. It was a really interesting. You know, to be honest, every young man has a magic phase. Yeah. And just most of them, to some degree, grow out of it. And for me, I didn't grow out of it. I just kind of pushed harder on it. Good. As I got out of high school. I'm glad you did. I'm glad I did too. It's working out. Thank goodness. What was the reaction in high school because we've all been to high school. Yeah. It could go one way or the other. Yeah. When you're showing magic as a high school kid to other teenagers. Yeah. So this is. If the magic's good, it's gonna make you friends. Yes. But good is kind of a relative term. I think as long as it's fooling and like deeply fooling, it's gonna make you some friends if you're not a jerk. You know, one of the things that I've noticed about magic in particular as an art form is that it will magnify an already existent personality. So it will not make you cool if you're not cool. Okay. Right? It will, you know, maybe give people more of a reason to talk to you or to explore, like whether you might be cool or charming or charismatic or friendly or whatever, because they're like, ooh, impossible thing, that's cool. But then, you know, it just kind of magnifies your personality. So if you're like a total dweeb, magic's going to make you dweebier. Yes. Right? To use a scientific... your vocabulary is, again... Yes, it's... Chef's kiss. Yes. And this is nothing against my dweebs out there. I'm a bit of a dweeb myself. Shout out to the dweebs. Shout out to the dweebs. But, you know, you're... so, you know, it is one of the... Like I said, that's the sort of... The sort of curse of magic is that when you... And this is what I was like alluding to earlier, is like, if something's impossible enough, you're going to impress. Yes. On some degree, you're going to impress if you are able to accomplish something that appears to be impossible. But the simultaneous blessing and curse of magic is that, like, for magic to happen, it's almost, I can think of a couple of examples where this isn't true, but it's nearly always required that somebody attribute to you more skill in their mind than you actually deserve, right? More praise than you actually deserve, because we as magicians or as people who have had sort of magic phases, right? We can see, okay, well, we can buy like a Svengali deck or something like that, and at the end of the day, if you use that thing correctly, you can look like a total card shark, right? You can look like somebody who has studied for years. Right, and when you do the possible thing of finding the card over and over again from what appears to be a shuffled deck, that in the mind of the audience, they're like, well, that must have taken 10 years. Like, kid's 9 years old. How did he practice for 20 years? Yeah. Right. But then when you go and do the impossible thing, which is to, in this case for a Svengali deck, a common finale is to turn all of the cards into the selected card. Sure. Like, you've seen this kind of thing before? Yes. Then that, like, becomes this sort of, like, mind wipe, like impossibility. If you do it effectively, then the person just goes, I don't know what
I question
just
everything.
saw. Yeah, that is totally reality bending, and I'm now attributing all of these weird feelings that I have to you,
Yes.
and almost inevitably, that sort of soup of weirdness in somebody's mind is gonna end up giving that person more sort of like I don't know what's the word. It's gonna give them more like gravitas than they have earned. I mean, you're cheating. That's the point. You're cheating. Like that's the thing. So, to swing this back to the personality development thing, or like the magnifying thing effect that magic has, is like, yeah, if you get a really, really great sort of push button effect that is gonna have some level of impossibility to it, then one of the things that a lot of magicians will tend to do is to start to believe the marketing of the people that they're showing the magic to. You know, they'll be like, okay, let's say I have a completely like shit presentation, or like I'm not like charismatic in any way, or I'm not, you know, I haven't learned these sort of like interpersonal skills, but at the end of the day, everyone's running around screaming because the thing was so cool. Then I start to be very tempted to rest comfortably in the idea that, oh, that is a reaction to me, right? Not the $50 that I spent on this genius magic trick.
When did you realize this? At what stage in your life of your career of being a magician?
That's a great question. I realized this probably, I would say, in my late teens.
Okay.
Where in my late teens, when I was getting into my 20s, I was starting to study theater in a really strong way. And I ended up going to theater school in New York for an intensive couple of years at a school called AMDA, which was the American Music and Dramatic Academy. One of those things where I would say you get what you give in that kind of situation.
Fair.
And yeah, I thought I had a great time there. And man, when you go to a place like that and you can't hide behind the $50 that you spent at the magic shop, right? You can't hide behind that because those people are people that don't do that, and they're not going to let you do that, and they're going to see through.
Sure.
You know, they're going to be like, okay, the trick was cool, but like, you know, we can't understand you when you speak. You're not smiling for some reason, or you know, whatever the soup of lessons they want to teach you is. They're not going to be like brainwashed by the trick itself. So that's about the time that I started figuring that out. Was when I was getting like real sort of theatrical direction from professionals.
That's great. It works hand in hand with the show because you do one and you also do the other, which is phenomenal. Which, total side note, total random thought, by the way, but I thought about this during your show. You have such incredible facial expressions during the show. It's almost Jim Carrey-ish. Jim Carrey has some of the best facial expressions of any performer. And I saw a lot of that in you, and it's not, they weren't goofy expressions. They were just your face lit up, your face went down, your face did this, it did that.
And you do the craziest thing with your eyes.
What's the thing with his eyes?
During his show, there's like this crazy intensity that he puts behind them.
Oh, that's just him.
Oh, it is. Okay. My bad.
That's just pure Kent.
No, I know it was some like if we're in the show, you mean like this kind of like.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh, that gave me chills right there. That's 2 snorts, by the way. That's 2. Put it on the board.
Well, you know, I'm trying really, really hard in the show to be existing in a world that is congruent with the story that I'm telling. You know, it's strange because you'll notice during the show that we're constantly jumping in and out of that thread of storytelling. You know, and it's almost serving the show at this point because I could be criticized by certain magicians in the past who have made this criticism, and it's accurate. Some magicians you can say they're afraid of their own magic, and so they would do a similar thing where they'll step out of the show to remind people that it is not what's being presented on the, like they'll like swing like a pendulum between here's the real deal. I'm going to be honest with you for a moment, and then we're going to go back into the actual show, and that can be done very poorly. But I think what we're doing in Ghost Stories is probably maybe a really good example of how that can be done well. Yeah. Where there are 3 characters in the show. One is Kent in the show, who's running the narrative, basically. One is Kent in the show possessed, right? Which is also part of the narrative. And then one is Kent as just a guy who you're talking to outside the show, but we're still on stage. We get like this meta view. Right? And it's very weird. I think it's a weird experience, but yeah, it's intense for sure. It's you know, it's hard to boil this down into like it's hard to do this compactly, but in a compact way. But the long and short of it is that a lot of those intense stares come from moments where the character in the show is really super duper caring about something, and is really hyper focused on something. Yes. And I find that particular thing, like what does the character care about and what are they focused on and what's catching their attention, if you can kind of nail that down, then you do, and you can make strong decisions in that vein, then in any kind of performance, then you're gonna have a level of intensity that's really intriguing and really interesting to watch.
Well said.
You're interesting when you're interested.
Yes, right? Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
You and that's in any aspect, whether it's performing, whether it's on a podcast, whatever it is.
Yeah. So if for some reason it's like this like little trinket on the table, like if for some reason I start looking at it, right, everyone in the room is going to go, "What the fuck is about to happen with
what is he looking at?" What?
Right?
Yes.
And so it becomes that you can really, really direct people's attention very strongly in ways that are not in the misdirection books.
When you were a young lad getting into it, did you give yourself a name?
No, I didn't have a name.
No, you didn't have a name? The Great Wonder or something?
I've always just been Kent. That always felt to me a little, I think, no. When I worked with, I did kids shows for Silly Billy for a little while in New York, right? I swore a lot.
During the kids shows?
There's nothing silly about this, Kent.
No, I was a very good kids magician, actually. Yeah. It was a lot of fun because you get into a place and then you play. You play as if something's real, as if you're not the one controlling the shit that's happening, right? The kids fucking love it. They go nuts. Like if you know that old coloring book thing?
Yeah, sure.
That coloring book trick where there's just drawings and then it's all colored and then it's all blank. Right.
Oh, I don't know that. No.
Oh, so that's an old coloring book. It's a trick. The trick is very easy. You can find it online, whatever. But basically, it's kind of in the way that you open it. It's like a very simple technique, but it works similar to a Svengali deck, actually, if you know how that works. Yeah. But you open the book and it's got all these drawings, and you show the kids these drawings, and then a lot of people will just go and then do the different sort of positioning and show all of the colors as if they've just magically appeared, and then they'll go, okay, now think about something else or whatever, and then they'll show it and it's all gone blank, right?
I love that.
And it's a really cool, like little magic technique, but Silly Billy, just
hearing you say Silly Billy is my favorite thing ever. Right
so hold on, I'm going to go full circle here for a second, then keep on the Silly Billy thing, because the nickname that I had under Silly Billy as a performer, my father's name is Kent, right? So my name when I was a kid was KJ, Kent Jr. Mm-hmm. And so my name under Silly Billy, and this I just remembered this now, was KJ Kajillion. That's what they called me.
That's 3, by the way.
Yep, that's good.
KJ Kajillion.
KJ
Kajillion.
What a great name.
I had suppressed that
until now.
Until this very moment.
It bubbled back up.
Yes, yeah.
I love this.
It was great. And but so the thing about performing for kids, which was really, well, first of all, kids, if you do some crap that is supposed to be just like just magical, but just sleight of hand stuff, kids are rude. You know, they don't know they're being rude. It's not rude, right? You're trying to fool them, and they're like, you didn't. You know, like if you're a bad magician, a kid will tell you, right? And somebody who you're performing for at a restaurant table might not tell you. You know, they probably won't actually. They
out
just
of
kinda want
common
you to go away.
courtesy and professionalism,
Yeah. And so the kid will be like, I saw that. And they don't know they're doing anything wrong because they're not, right? So this is why, like, kids magic is a totally different animal, but it's a very sort of theatrical animal and kind of teaches you how to create sort of a journey inside of a magic trick. Because one thing that kids go nuts over is if you can realistically portray that the children are the ones in control when you're actually the one in control. So that coloring book that I was just telling you about, and people should absolutely, especially if they're into doing magic for kids or want to make a career out of it, because you absolutely can. It's not that hard. Not that hard to make a career out of it. It's hard to do the performance for kids. You have to get some experience in that. But they should absolutely read Silly Billy's book. It's called Seriously Silly. It's such a good book.
I love that.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
But the routine was that you show the coloring book as normal, but then you give them the power to take colors off of their bodies, or like
that's cool.
You make them like or their clothes or whatever, and then or they take invisible crayons and they paint the pictures, and then you open it up and it's all colored, and then you go, okay, now just erase the colors, and they start to erase, and you go like, oh no, that's enough, no, stop, and then they like, as soon as they realize that you don't want them to keep going, they lean into it so hard. You know, they're like, and
you got it nailed down. You know exactly how they're going to react.
Yeah, and then eventually you open it up and it's all blank, and you go, no!
That's
and
so
they're
good.
like, yeah! And then you're like, draw the pictures again, draw the pictures again. And they all take out these invisible magic markers. And
that's so fun.
It's crazy how much kids magic will teach you to like create sort of a journey inside of the trick, and you could keep that shit going for like 40 minutes if they'd let you.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, if you could have the energy to do it, the kids will just keep doing it.
And I'm sure you're having fun doing it too. They're having fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's stupid fun. It's not hard in the sense of like the techniques. The techniques are very easy, but the timing and all that stuff, it's so different than performing for adults. But adults also appreciate that kind of thing, but not in sort of the more kiddish context of the coloring book or whatever. You know, adults.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they do like to sort of sit back and relax and sort of watch the journey of the trick, but the journey is the important part. You know, a lot of times, especially in the to bring it back to ghost stories, there's a routine with there's a card trick, right? And it's one of the few times that you get to see the character be sort of joyful and happy in the show, and it's one of the few times that somebody's on stage and there's a lot of jokes happening and a lot of control is in that person's hands. Yeah. You know? And I've done the same type of thing with that routine because I'm in such control of the room during that show. We're, you know, every inch of that room feels like it's in my grasp, or that's what I'm going for.
Yes.
But then once this person comes up, if any magicians out there do a trick where you have two decks of cards and you have a bell in between, you know the routine, but maybe there's other, you know, anything like this where one person you're having them do the same thing that you do. They're playing a game of like copycat or whatever, and they like in my version of that, I'm dropping the cards, and I'm dropping the cards intentionally. If you've seen the show multiple times, you know that, but this person doesn't know that, and I've just ostensibly read the minds of everyone in the room in a very aggressive way. And now if I get the right person, they're going to drop the cards too. Mm-hmm. And when they do that, I'm like, yes, we're in.
You got them.
We're in. Golden.
Yes.
Because now that person's able to take a little bit of the power back.
Yes.
Right? They're able to make fun of me. And in doing that, it's like, oh, thank God. Some of the pressure's off me now. When they do that, the audience is like, oh, it's funny. Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, he's not going to be mad because the guy made fun of him. This is a good thing, right? And so So people are, by that time, people are starting to learn how to behave in the room.
Sure.
Which is interesting because sometimes they don't know for the first 30 minutes.
How much is?
But anyway, sorry. I've been talking for a long time.
No, listen, I'm engaged. I am hooked on every word you're saying.
It's going to be our first 6-hour podcast, folks.
This is part 1 of 5 miniseries.
That was not a snort. You snort. You snort. Goddammit. You didn't do it. Okay, damn it.
She can't do it on cue. I don't know why.
I mean, I'm sure I could try, but it probably wouldn't sound as good.
We don't want that. How much of the of what you do is part of the mentalism side of it? Because I feel like there's magic, there's diversions, but do you feel like there's a healthy amount of the mentalism aspect of it as well in what you do, or just?
Also, sorry, I need to interrupt. Can you explain the difference between like magic and mentalism? Because I don't know the difference in definitions before you answer Andrew's question.
Actually, what would be interesting is to have Andrew explain the difference and see if I vibe with it.
That's an excellent question. And you know what? I would love to do that, but I feel like I wouldn't do it enough justice.
No, I'm actually not doing a bit here. Like,
oh, this is really you want me to?
Well, so I have my answer.
Okay.
But the thing is that my answer is a little pithy to the mentalism community, and you're not a pure layperson because you're in Las Vegas, you've seen a lot of magic shows, you saw my show twice, and you know that term, right? Sure. So. But I'm interested in knowing what your
I would say being able to understand more than what's said, a lot of the nonverbal communication being involved, the reactions based on certain things that are happening or have said, and then even guiding the other person along to a point where you want them to be without them actually thinking about it. Not necessarily manipulation, but flirting with manipulation, I would say.
Okay. So so that's a really there are certainly mentalism effects that walk that line.
Okay.
And they are the ones that are not reliable.
Okay.
When you see, like what you've just been describing is something along the lines of what the Mentalist TV show was dramatizing.
Sure.
Right. And for me, and this is I just made a post about this the other day that I make a lot of enemies on the internet.
We love that. We love that.
Well, it's hard because I don't know. I try to be clinical with my speech as much as I can, anyway. And a lot of people have some challenges defending their opinions in ways that are clear, or even attacking my opinions in ways that are clear and concise and have anything to do with actual logic. Like when people say logic, most of the time what they mean is common sense.
Sure.
And that's common sense to them, and that's meaningless to me. Like, I'm talking about internal critiques. So I'm sorry, I'm already circling the drain on this answer, but let me just give you the straightforward answer.
You got me hooked.
Yeah, well.
Reel me in, baby.
So I'll back it up. The post that I made was that mentalism is as much mind reading as coin magic is alchemy.
Okay.
And that is true, right? Imagine a world now where, or as much psychological manipulation as coin magic is alchemy.
Yeah.
And to a degree, that's actually incorrect, because on some level, you can have mentalism effects that are somewhat akin to psychological manipulation or intuition or whatever. Like if I just guess at something and you say, yeah, that's it, and I can go, I knew that, right? And then that would be a cool experience for both of us, right? And that would technically fall under the category of mentalism. I could guide you to something with you not knowing that I'm guiding you there.
Yep.
And there's a lot of very famous mentalists who do this kind of thing. And I do a tiny bit of that in the show, particularly this moment near the end. Right? That is one of those types of things. Mm-hmm. Now, and we won't reveal that because that is something that is the same every time. But the great majority of mentalism is just magic tricks, that look like mind reading. And just like the great majority of coin magic is just like if you're changing a silver coin to a gold coin, that's not alchemy, right? It's magic tricks that look like, I mean, don't look like alchemy, I suppose, but you know, like the parallel is there. I think people understand the flavor of what I'm getting at here. And so, you know, I'm not trying to make like a perfectly parallel logical case here, but when I define mentalism, I just define it as a subsidiary of magic or as a subcategory of magic that looks like mind reading using similar techniques. Similar or the same, to be honest. Like, if I were to take have you select a playing card and then I were to do a very convincing sort of body language read or a psychic read, I just turned 16.
There's KJ. There he is.
KJ Kazillion, guys. If I were to have you select a playing card and then... I'll wait.
Okay, we're good. And we're back. And we're back.
No, if I were to have you select a playing card and then I were to have that knowledge either before you selected it or after you, whatever, at whatever point I got the knowledge, right? Then I sort of pretend to extract that from you via your body language piece by piece. First the color, then the suit, whatever. That would be a very good mentalism effect. And I mean, it would just be the same exact technique as magic. And the great majority of mentalism is in that category. Yeah. And there are certainly, one of the challenges is that mentalism is like bleeds into copying things like cold reading a la your psychics like John Edward or whatever, or hot reading like that too. I mean, how did you know my mother's name was blah? Well, how did you buy a ticket? Well, with my credit card, of course, but that's irrelevant. It's like, okay. Right. So, but mentalism certainly bleeds into that. Yeah. And because that is sort of what it's replicating. But as a friend of mine, Mark Lewis, who got a golden buzzer on
America's Got
Talent.
Nice.
He's the best Svengali pitch man you've ever seen. Yeah. He's amazing. But he's also and I call him a friend because we have great banter online. I mean, I think he's just kind of like a silly man, but he's awesome. He's funny. He's into the psychic thing. He's into the real psychic fairs, and he'll go to these things and he'll be like, you'll never see a mentalist technique at these places. You'll never see it. And you'll always see people who are like flitting on the sort of vagaries of, or
just enough.
Is that a real word? I don't know.
You know what?
You know what I meant.
I trust you.
We keep it.
Julie, keep that in, please.
Okay, keep it in.
They're dancing on the edges, of these things that are
just enough for the person to be like,
exactly.
yes, I connect it.
Where a mentalist he'll tell you what the 3-digit number that you just wrote down in your pocket is, and whatever the method is for that. That's way too direct to be a real psychic, but it does. The mentalism field does bleed into these fields, and obviously it's inspired by these fields. And it's like, well, what if I could do that, but like super duper and real? And it's like, okay, well, I have all these magic techniques. I can do it, but like just lie, and that's cool. And then I can just say the 3-digit number that you wrote down, or the name of your first pet, or whatever. And so mentalism, because we got those techniques, and I'm kind of talking out of my ass here a little bit because I don't know the actual history of this, but I can see how we now want to bleed further into the psychic world and do more esoterica.
Sure.
And also now it's like, well, wait, people are believing me, so why should I tell them I'm a magician?
Right.
And now, simply saying that mentalism is a form of magic becomes a little less cut and dry, because now you're because mentalism is drawing a line between knowing what card you selected and setting up a booth at a psychic fair to do readings, because some mentalist taught you how to do readings. Because it's drawing that line, and there is a bridge there now, it becomes this really weird gray area between direct technique that is related directly to magic and manipulation. And I would say that the minute it falls over into having people actually believe in the esoterica stuff, now it's hard to call yourself a mentalist at that point, even if you're using mentalist techniques. I would just say that you're getting into the territory of fraud. I don't know.
Well, that actually leads to my next question, because now that you have experience on both sides of it, and you're more aware of it than the average Joe, has that ever? I'm assuming you leave it at the door once you're out in civilization, but has it changed the way you communicate with others, or has it changed any relationships in your life, knowing that you are a lot more well versed in, I don't want to say manipulation, but just are you more well versed in understanding things that people wouldn't notice?
Okay, well, this is the thing that I want to be clear about before I even address that answer, because I have a tendency to circle the drain on stuff, and
Circle it.
Yeah, well, we'll keep doing that. Keep that question in mind, because I'm going to ask you to repeat it.
Go ahead.
But I have to back up, because to answer the question directly to answer the last question directly, now that I've given so much context, you're like, how much of the show is mentalism versus magic?
Yeah.
Right. That was the first question where I had you give your
excellent
view
answer
on what the difference is, and for me, it's all magic. It's there he is again. It's all magic because I don't like to draw that distinction, and I used to, but I don't like anymore to have people believing anything about my theatrical lie when they leave. And at the very least, what I can say is something that has been effective for me is never telling anyone else what to do, just running internal consistency checks on whether or not they ought to have a problem with this kind of thing. But there's for me, the very first step for me was being honest with people when I was off stage, right? Not being honest to the degree where I tell them what the secret is, because that's no fun. No. But telling them, yes, there is a secret, and it is not body language reading, and it is not intuition. If I guess it, like I don't have the hubris to say like what is and is not true about the universe in a spiritual or esoteric way, but I certainly don't have the chutzpah to say that I am accessing that during my show if I have a good guess.
You make it a very good point to state that, or draw that ethical line there. Did something happen in the past that was like, you know what, I want to flip that switch and make sure that I emphasize that? Or is this just something that you saw in the industry and you're like, you know what, I want to put my foot down and make sure that this is my stance on it?
Yeah, this is an ongoing debate in the magic community, because people think that this is something called a disclaimer, basically. For those who are not magicians, this is something called a disclaimer, where people are interested in, some magicians or mentalists who are interested in this kind of material, they will say something to disassociate themselves from the lie and to try and associate themselves with the truth. And this is that's kind of the long and short of it, is they'll take like 30 seconds or a minute out of their show and be like, hey, by the way, I'm not a psychic, and blah, 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 like whatever the thing is. And the argument from the side of the anti-disclaimer people is like, and it's a valid argument, is, I can't remember if it's a valid or a sound argument. I think it's valid. But it's something like this. It goes, it's like, why should I take a minute to 5 minutes out of my show to explain something to people that, number one, they should already know, and number two, if they don't already know it, they're not going to listen to it anyway, if they're like a believer or whatever.
Right.
And number three, will almost certainly make my show worse, right? Because it will just take them out of the theater of the thing. And that makes perfect sense to me. That's a really, really, I might say that's a good argument. And for most people, I think that argument is a good place to start. the experience that I had, which leads me away from that argument, which answers those questions for me, is that when I was doing a purely psychological show, I have designed a show.
Was it still ghost stories? Or
No,
different?
no, it was a different show. It was more of a corporate show.
Okay.
They'd hire me to come in and do, corporate entertainment, basically. And I would do a show, and it would be designed top to bottom to make people believe that I was Sherlock Holmes, basically. That I was reading their body language, I was taking all their clues, doing all this stuff, when really I was just looking at the piece of paper when they weren't looking. Like that's the secret, and it's not like the secret, but it's like one of them, Got to get the information somehow. But the secret, the question is when, and you'll never see it, which is the cool thing. But after those shows where it was designed to make people believe that I was like a Sherlock Holmes character, every time I got the distinct sense in my body, and not at the beginning, but as I was getting really good at it, and as the show was getting really convincing, every time I started to get the sense that people were walking out of my show worse off than they walked
Really?
in. They were dumber for having seen me perform. And
That's a wild feeling to have.
it's a cynical thing to say, and it's a wild feeling to have. But yeah, I was like, they didn't just watch Hamlet; they watched a documentary. You know what I mean? Like they watched what they are now under the impression, either as an aggregate or at least as a couple of individuals. Like, and if 5 people come up to me and say, "Oh shit, well, I didn't think that was possible, but now I'm like all in. Like,
Right.
like what do I read? Like, what do I do? To like learn more about this."
Yeah.
And my answer used to be like, well, years of study, and you can research things like NLP and hypnosis and suggestion. And it's like, oh my God, can my head get any farther up my own ass? Like, honestly. Like I would just like straightforwardly lie to them about what was happening in the show and what like field of study they would go into in order to learn more about what they saw.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it felt so gross.
Yeah.
And like on some level, I was like, oh, well, my peers all think this is okay. So like, this is cool. Like, oh, I've reached a level where like, this is cool. This is fine. And it just wasn't fine. Like eventually it just crossed my own personal ethical threshold where I was like, no, I'm just a fraud.
That's fair.
Like I have the time in my show where I say I'm not a psychic. I use a combination of psychological techniques and NLP and body language reading. I read people, that kind of thing. And also maybe there's a magic technique or two in there, but don't focus on that. And it was just so gross.
Yeah.
And it was gross not because it was gross because something about the audience I was like, there are 1,000 variables in each of these things. So if you're a performer who says something like that and it's not gross to you,
Sure.
because you're not getting that same kind of feedback that I was getting, fine. My goal whenever I'm helping magicians is to make it so that they could start a cult,
Yeah.
right? And then they start to feel it, right? And then they go, oh, I get it. I should address this somehow.
Interesting.
Right? That's like whenever I'm helping magicians like improve their shows or make their shows more believable, like I want people to in the show be completely invested in the character and believe it 100%. Like that's what I want. I want them to be invested. And but yeah, so then after the psychological thing where I was like, this is not good, I ditched it completely.
Fair.
I went over to the psychic side, and I just started doing psychic shows.
Yeah.
And I was like, surely I'm not going to cause non-believers to become believers in this case. And same shit, man. Same shit. And it was like, but it's fence sitters. It's not like the stark like skeptics. It's the fence sitters.
Yeah.
If you're getting the impression that the needle is moving in the wrong direction in the aggregate, and you feel some kind of principled opposition to miseducation, then you ought, based on those previous statements, those premises, then you ought to do something about it. And one thing that you could do is stop doing it. And one thing that you could do is explore ways to help people understand the actual nature of what's going on. And that's really what I care about. I don't care about the 2 minutes that you set aside to say something strange that's going to fuck up your show, right? I care about all of the possible variables that you could put into a situation that would start providing you with the audience feedback at the end of the show that's going to make you feel good about what you did and not bad about what you did. And I felt bad about what I did, so I kept changing it. And at this moment, I feel good about what I do.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made the stance, and I'm glad you were able to say, you know what, I'm going to change it, and this is the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
And it's worked out. Like, I can imagine so many people being too afraid that it'll affect the bottom line, it affects their career, it affects the trajectory, it affects whatever it is that they affect.
Yeah.
But, you're able to do that, and you do it in a way, and you've turned into something that I feel like is, fair, honest, but still extremely entertaining.
Yeah, that's all I'm going for. Like, I actually don't want people. It's so funny because when people say you want to change people's beliefs, I'm like, I actually don't. I don't care about changing their beliefs. I care about not changing their beliefs. Like the reason that I'm saying something, the reason that I'm pushing back against what they might naturally assume based on what they see in the room is because their beliefs are shifting in the room to some degree anyway, or at least that's what they're reporting to me. And so my pushback against that is to try to get them back to neutral, back to the place where they came in, right? And so those who say, oh, I let them decide, but then provide them 90 minutes of proof that psychic ability is real or whatever, that is not letting them decide, right? I mean, it's kind of, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Have you been hypnotized before?
Have I been hypnotized before? I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Although it depends on how you're defining hypnosis. Because I can ask two hypnotists what hypnosis is, and I'll get
They get different answers. I feel like I've been. I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you my experience. There's a restaurant that we had. It was like a Mediterranean tapas style restaurant. It was fun, outgoing. We had people painting there while you're eating. We had belly dancers there. We had magicians walk around, do like close magic. And I was a manager at the time, and we invited a hypnotist to come on and try out. And so we went into the office, and this is the first time we wanted to make sure he was legit. And I'll tell you what, I was aware of everything that happened, but I was doing things that he told me to do, but I didn't have that like thought in my mind of I can control this or not. It was more along the lines of he told me to do it, I'm going to do it. Like it was, tell me a story about, I talked about how I was a ninja in the hills of Japan or something like that. And it was a weird feeling. It was like the part of where you're so tired that you're like part asleep and part awake, but I was aware of everything around me, but I was just under his control. It was a weird feeling. And then I woke up and I felt like I had the best night's sleep I've ever had because I felt so refreshed.
Oh, when you were done?
When I was done. He told me to wake up, and I woke up, and it was like a jolt of energy through my veins.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think there is certainly something to clinical hypnosis or even entertainment hypnosis on a one-on-one basis like that.
Sure.
If you're a one thing I do know for sure is that if you're a like a Vegas hypnotist or like that kind of that type of animal, the hypnosis show kind of thing, where you have a lot of chairs on the stage and you're doing a lot of. It seems those environments seem indistinguishable to me from something like social pressure, or I mean, whenever I dig down into it with a hypnotist, I'm like, and how do we verify that claim you just made?
Sure.
But I know that when you, if you're going to do a magic routine and you just need someone to pay close attention for a moment, then and it's spooky, then a hypnotic induction is a really cool thing to do, right? Regardless of whether it works or not. Yeah. Like in a stage hypnosis setting, I don't actually care if that person is hypnotized or if they are totally faking it. Mm-hmm. But one of the nice things, actually, if if I get the sense that they're faking it, that is really good, actually, for that particular part of my show that you're thinking of. Because if somebody is, like if I find someone who's adorned with beads and wearing big jangling earrings, and that person just goes out when I when I sit them down, I'm like, fuck, they're not gonna actually notice when I do the thing. They're not gonna notice the thing I need them to notice in order to answer these questions correctly. You know, like there's a routine in the show where like somebody gets hypnotized, and it doesn't matter if they're hypnotized or not, but it looks really cool when they are, right? Yeah. But if they go under and then they need to be able to pay attention, and if they can't pay attention, oh man, it goes bad. It goes bad because they don't know they don't know how to answer those questions.
How do you handle it? Because you have, like I said, a very intimate show, and being that it's how many people in a room at once? 20? 25?
Well, actually, we expanded the seating a little bit. We can fit 40 in there if we pack them in.
Really?
Yeah.
So let's say 40 people. And compared to like when you go see Penn and Teller, who are at a venue, like it's in, there's over 100 seats there.
Yeah, yeah.
With Penn
we
and
do our show behind a dumpster behind the 7-Eleven.
With Penn and Teller, like if you go there and you're sitting next to somebody that's loud and noisy, it's gonna affect you, but it's not gonna affect everybody in the room. Whereas with you, if there is somebody, and there was one or two people there that did make a little bit of a disruption, and it affected a majority of the people there because it's such an intimate setting, like I said. But again, you handled it wonderfully while still maintaining that experience and not taking us out of it. But when somebody is being disruptive, how do you handle it carefully, I'm assuming?
Well, at first I handle it in character. So it's like you're in my house, like, and it's like almost a respect thing. And it's like, I can hear you, I can hear you. Right. And it's like, eventually it's like, it gets more and more aggressive. Like, this is not a polite character. Like, you're there to serve a purpose for that character.
Right.
And you are, like, it's not, it's a fun show to be a part of. It's an immersive show, but your role in the show is effectively as food for the evil spirits. I know that sounds so weird out of context.
It sounds so weird, but from you, it's normal.
Yeah, in the internal monologue is that the people there, they've been invited there, right? And they come to experience this thing, but ultimately the underlying reason is so that I can see her again.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here. Yeah. You're here to feed the evil ones such that they can go retrieve her. Right? Your purpose is done after the first couple of minutes. Yeah. Like, and so I no longer have to be nice to you. You're here for the ride. And so like in that world, to stay in that world is not polite. And so I want people to get it. So I found a way to like, it's a little aggressive at first, but like I will kind of stop the show and like look at someone and just wait for them to stop talking and then be like, or depending on how froggy I'm feeling.
You get a feel for it too.
But, yeah, it's going to be a little different every time. But basically, I've had justifiable but regrettable interactions in the past because I haven't taken a moment to just stop the show and be real with someone with the outside of character, because they don't get it sometimes, right? They don't understand.
My mind. These are adults.
These are adults, but sometimes, they come to it, like I said, we're selling a vibe. So they're coming to this show called Ghost Stories. We're selling a vibe. They think maybe, I don't know how they think this, because you can't buy a ticket without encountering the words magic show like a dozen times. Right. But sometimes they don't think that it's interactive. They don't think it's a magic show. They don't think it's this, that, or the other thing. And they have no expectations. But they're like, ghost stories, we're probably just hearing ghost stories. And so they buy a VIP seat and they're sitting in the front row and they've just taken like a shitload of mushrooms, right? And it's like they can't handle themselves. Or they've taken, 4 shots of tequila because they want to be a little fucked up for this, or like whatever it is. And, McBride calls this a drinking crowd, not a thinking. It's a thinking show for a drinking crowd. And
I like that.
yeah, he'll say you've got two kinds of crowds. You've got drinking crowds and thinking crowds. And McBride runs a magic school here in Las Vegas, the Magic and Mystery School, and it's a wonderful experience, a wonderful totally immersive, kind of like I don't think this is denigrating it at all, but it's like a real life Hogwarts. You go in there and you spend 2 or 3 days, and it completely immersed in learning professional magic in this absolutely astonishingly beautiful house that he's put together with all these ancient artifacts, and it's really crazy. Like you step into another world. So check out McBride's Magic and Mystery School.
Shout out to McBride's Magic and Mystery School.
Shout out to McBride. But he would call this a drinking audience, and he said that we're pulling off a thinking show for a drinking audience, which is good. That's a high compliment from McBride.
Love that.
But the way that I've settled into doing this now is I'll give them several warning shots, like 2 or 3 warning shots. Then I'll up the aggression. And once the aggression reaches like 60 or 70%, like before the point where I have to raise my voice severely at them, and I will do that. But before we do that, I'll just break the character. I'll break the show and be like, okay, we got to stop for a second, guys. Like, I got to tell you, the guy that's getting aggressive with you, that's not me. But we are in a show here, and like none of these people paid to hear you talk. Like none of them. And I know that you paid to be here, and that's totally cool. And I think you're cool. Like I think you're cool. When I'm doing the show, though, ooh, man, like, I don't think you're cool. So, like, we could totally be friends after this if, like, you just, like, shut the fuck up for, like, a little bit, for, like, a minute. And, like, that's kind of, to whatever, that's a very sarcastic take on it to make you laugh. But sometimes I'll do an incredibly sincere take on it and be like, hey, we're all here to have a good time, and I appreciate that you are. But, like,
that's fair. But,
like, I got to ask you at this point because there does come a point where I have to protect the ticket purchase of all of these people who can also hear you talking. So if you could you can totally talk, just do it out there, right? And that's totally cool. And that's the
best you can do.
It's the best you can do.
Given
and
the circumstances, the best you can do.
If they keep going and we get to 80 or 90%, then it's manager time.
Yeah.
Raise the aggression until they get offended enough to leave, or it's manager time.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of fun sometimes.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If I wasn't with the team, I would have taken an ungodly amount of edibles before I went to your show.
You would not have been alone.
I had to be mature, professional, and respectful to the team, but just know I would have been very high on edibles. You mentioned a few times, actually, that you are helping other magicians that are up and coming. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So, like, I started the YouTube channel, very small right now, but it's got, we're putting up interviews with magicians, it's consultation interviews about their shows and about how to add more theatricality or more, or like sell tickets or stuff like that. Also, just like general performance advice and philosophical. A lot of it is philosophical right now around this sort of disclaimer idea around the ethics around mentalism. But alongside that, I'm also doing like private consultations with people. I started doing this around the pandemic, 2020, and everything was on Zoom. And now all of a sudden, I had a pretty good corporate magic career before that, so like people who didn't have it and they were working on their Zoom shows or they were preparing for when eventually we could start gathering again. They were contacting me and asking like, hey, what do I do to jump back into corporate as soon as the doors open?
Really?
And I was like, well, here's what you do. And I would do consultations with them, and that's how I survived the pandemic is by teaching magicians not how to magish because they do that well enough on their own, but adding some theatricality to their Zoom shows for sure, but then really going in deep with them on what they need and what systems they need in place in order to do well in the corporate world, which now a lot of that is changing because of AI. But
sure.
It's a really cool, interesting time.
Has AI affected you in your career at all, or not?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's one of those things that will... I don't know. I don't actually know how it will affect. I think one thing that's really going to be... Have you heard of the dark internet theory?
I've heard of the dark internet, the deep web.
No, not the deep web. The dark internet theory. This is really cool. And I don't know where this came from, but AI is going to start to make this closer to reality. And I don't know if it'll ever happen, but the idea is that eventually down the line, with the addition of more and more fake people
Yes.
on the internet,
I think I know where you're going with this.
right, it will be nearly impossible to find another real person on the internet. Nearly impossible. As the amount of fake people grows, the distance between you and everyone else will also grow, and then you will just be standing in the center of a desert, right? A desert full of billboards, when you go online, and that's really interesting. It could be true, it could be false, but ultimately, the internet as a tool to bring us all together and to sort of globalize and connect people will be a thing that we'll be closer in real life than we will be online. It'll be almost impossible to find anyone online.
Oh, I hate everything about this.
Well, it's interesting, and it might not be the case. And maybe through like some kind of blockchain thing, we can you can have an identity online and be like, this was really me because it's on my blockchain,
right,
or something like that. Me pretending to know what these tech words mean.
Sounds about right.
But and maybe this stuff will counter it as it goes and as it grows. But I think as this happens, and as the world gets more and more AI-ified, and as the world gets more and more digital and everything, people will begin to sort of crave real experiences more.
I hope so.
And the type of experience that we're going for at Mandalay at the 1923 Speakeasy with the Ghost Stories show is I plugged everything.
That was
simultaneously.
nicely done.
That was smooth.
You're a pro.
That was smooth.
You've done this before.
Those things will be more sought after. Those experiences,
Yes.
and things like the big theater shows that you were talking about a moment ago will. I don't necessarily think they'll start to struggle because they've got all the power in the world, But I mean, I like to think that people will be like, okay, let's go to Vegas and see Ka, but then what else are we going to do? Oh, this looks really cool. And then they go into something where there's only 20 or 30 people, something that's well-rounded and good. I mean, not to say anything about our little, about our backroom variety shows or anything like that, but I want to see a lot of really special, smaller experiences crop up. Mm-hmm. And there are some in town for sure. What used to be in the space that I'm in, literally what used to be in that space is the Magician's Study.
That's right.
Yeah, the Magician's Study used to be literally in that room. And that is awesome to me. That is so cool. Because that's another one of those things where it's a really cool little, like intimate experience.
Yes.
And yeah, I would like to see more of those crop up.
Yeah.
I think they will.
Do you feel that with everything being online now, and do you feel like it's harder to create new tricks or new magic with how transparent the digital world has made everything?
Harder to create new tricks and new magic.
Or is it pretty much the same as it's always been?
Yeah, there's a lot of reinventing the wheel in magic. Mm-hmm. Magic tends to evolve fairly slowly, like piece by piece, rather than in big leaps.
Sure.
There are once in a while someone comes out with like a big brand new illusion, but most of the time, I would say the great majority of the time, these things are
increments of
iterations of other things with a little touch or a little, a new dressing or a new, something modeled after something else. And so one thing that's interesting in the magic world is, we used to say they don't know what the trick is called, so they can't figure it out. But now you can just tell the oracle what you saw, right?
The oracle.
You know what I mean, right?
I do know what you mean. Yes, I
you
do.
can be like, well, here's the analogy. You can be like, what's that Star Wars, Star Trek movie with the little furry guys, I think maybe, and they caught they did a thing with a Tin Man, I think, and they'll be like, oh no, that's Star Wars, and you're talking about Return of the Jedi. right? You're talking about the Ewoks, and the internet will answer that question for you, and that's insane to me. So it's weird. It's a weird time because now people can just talk into the ether and get an answer about their experience, and magic is in a weird place because it kind of relies on secrets to some degree. But I like to think that there's, even if somebody were to have sort of a general knowledge of how magic works and a general knowledge of the secrets that might be in play, that they would still come to a show like Ghost Stories and experience something that is seemingly impossible, at least in the moment,
You with that Star Wars pull, I see you're also a man of culture, so
yes.
Well done. Nice.
Yes. You tip your fedora at me, sir.
Me and my neckbeard. That's right.
ChatGPT goes, actually?
Oh, my God.
So, I was looking at the posters behind you. They're awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, you can just I mean, I don't want to give away, every magician's secrets here, but, yeah, you can just say what happened into the internet now, and it will come back to you with, a direction. At least. When
was the last time that there was a trick or somebody did something that was that big leap, opposite of the small little iteration?
Oh God, I'm not plugged into the magic world in terms of the new stuff or the new inventions in any way.
Or a thing that comes to your mind, if there's in the history of magic, has there ever been a leap that's been wow, that's even from a professional like myself, that's a huge leap from where we were to where it is now? Would you say Copperfield? Would he be?
Well, yeah. I mean, Copperfield has successfully done that. I think many times. His the televised specials that he used to run back in what was the 90s and 2000s, I guess, was unmatched. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I like the. To divert away from the question because I don't have a great answer for it.
That's okay. I appreciate the honesty.
Well, yeah. Well, it's, I don't, because I'd have to really sit and think about it and be okay, what feels big to me, and then is that an iteration of something else? And
that's tough.
Some things that felt big to me, but they felt big to me as a kid because I was watching syndicated network television talk about them constantly as if they were the next big thing.
Sure.
But the truth of the matter might be that someone was using a similar levitation or something like that in a touring show that never got on television. I don't know. I actually don't know.
That's fair.
But Copperfield obviously is huge. Yeah. And so, Chris Angel obviously is
Julie loves Chris Angel.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Shout out Chris Angel.
Shout out Chris Angel.
Shout out to Chris Angel. The show's really good. The show's I recommend the show quite a bit to people. Yeah, I mean, big shifts in the magic world. I mean, especially in the mentalism world. We were talking about this earlier. People have around the time that Darren Brown in the UK started to become really famous, a lot of mentalists who were learning shifted into that pseudo-psychological explanation, where they were okay, I'm effectively a detective now. I'm no longer a psychic, I'm a detective. And now I'm going to be ethical by saying that I'm not psychic, but really that's part of the greater deception because that's just going to lead people deeper into the detective line, right? Into the detective groove. And so I keep pushing this carpet forward.
You're good.
I'm
Fuck that carpet. I didn't even like that carpet anyways.
So
you like Del Rey too, though, right?
Del Rey is one of my favorite magicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff is awesome. Yeah.
Which is incredible because he.
Did you watch Del Rey?
I've seen Del Rey. Yeah.
Wait, did you?
Not in person, obviously.
Okay.
That's my trick. I'm actually 100-something years old. I moisturize and I drink a lot of water.
87.
No, but I've seen the people reenact what he's done, and I've read a lot about him. She's done a tremendous amount of research on you, and so she got me hooked on the Del Rey thing too. What does that look for?
That's more water? Sweet.
I'm good. Thank you.
Sorry, I was waiting for you to stop talking so I didn't have to
Listen, we're knee deep in conversation. I
Waiting
get it.
for us to stop
We're
talking.
flowing. Thank you.
You might starve to death.
Why Del Rey though?
I just love his attitude.
Yeah.
Like everything. He seems so comfortable. You know, he's not. He would do things, of course, that like were very technically complex on some degree, but it would take something really, really small and just make it into a whole thing. Like this, the one line that always comes to my mind, which kind of like sums up Del Rey's attitude in my mind, was when he's doing this particular trick and he's like, "You won't catch me," you know. I want you to catch me here, and he would take out. He'd be like, "Here's a $20 bill. If you catch me, you can have the 20."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's so old and wrinkled. I've been using the same one for 15 years. You know, and that is such a
That
good,
you like. Yeah.
it's such a you know, it's aggressive. It's cool. I like that.
It's cocky, a little cocky.
It's cocky. Yeah, I like, and you know, it's perfectly congruent with everything that you're seeing about this person.
Yes.
Like another person like that right now is he's incredibly well known on the internet is Jason Ledany.
Yes.
Right? And if you
He's
have
very cocky.
Yeah, he's amazing though. It's so good.
And he backs it up.
Yeah, say it again?
He backs it up.
Yeah, he backs it up. I mean, the videos are incredible, you know, and it's just this amazing work. And he's doing, you know, he's a student of Darwin Ortiz, and who was another magician in that sort of that gambly vein, and the card shark vein.
Yeah.
And who wrote amazing books, by the way. Darwin Ortiz wrote great books on it. And but yeah, Jason has taken it to a whole new level.
Is
I
he
have
a Vegas
deep
local?
respect for him, and I think that like the amount of cockiness and attitude that he brings to the table is something that historically magicians would almost dogmatically oppose, because they'd be like, oh no, you want to like let the audience win or something like that, and it's like fuck that. Like if the variables, there's a context is everything.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like, I don't know, if I'm gonna get into like a tennis match with Serena Williams, I better lose, you know, like, and that's the fun,
That's well said.
you know, like, I don't know, I like it's kind of a that's back to the kid show thing. It's kind of a tea party
Yeah.
that you're expecting someone to buy into as an adult human, that like the reason that they found their own card is because their intuition is so strong,
Yeah.
or some crap like that, you know. And it's like, yeah, you could go that route, but something about that feels incredibly disingenuous to me. And you could have a lot of fun
Yeah.
by being like, by having a little edge on that and being like, yeah, your intuition.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't try it without me,
Yeah.
but you know, strong intuition.
Have you met Jason?
I have, yeah.
Is he local here in Vegas?
No,
He's not.
he's not. I met him in the Catskills, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, we were doing back-to-back gigs,
Oh shit.
and through a friend of mine who actually has a magic theater in the Catskills called Magic on Main, and it was Main Street, right? And it was his name is Sean Doolin. Sean Doolin. So if you're ever up in that area, the upstate New York area, that's the Catskills, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Then look up Magic on Main. He's just building out a new theater, so I'm not sure if it's even going to still be called Magic on Main. But Sean Doolin is a wonderful performer in his own right, and he had hosted me doing a mentalism show, psychological purely, and he was hosting Jason as well,
Love that.
and it was really cool.
That's so cool. I love that.
Great to meet him. We've circled the drain on a bunch of questions. We probably didn't fully answer any of them, but let's just move on to another one to frustrate frustrate people who are like, you didn't answer anything.
Let me tell you something. I've been so intrigued and engaged by all of your answers, regardless if they're specifically answering my question or not, that I'm tuned in. Again, you're interesting and I'm interested.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. All right, what's up?
I feel like we're in sync. I feel like I got a good thing going on. I want to try something here. I want to try something here. You ready for
Do a
this?
magic trick?
I think I might.
Holy shit.
Maybe.
Okay.
Have you seen this one, by the way?
This is how people live life.
Do you get that at your show, by the way?
What do you say?
Do you get people doing that at your show?
Sometimes they try if their friend is up. Yeah, if their friend is up, especially for that particular routine with the hypnosis we were talking about earlier. And that's one that does not survive video scrutiny.
That's got to be tough. It's got to be tough.
Yeah. So but it's cool because I can just tell, it feels almost ritualistic for me it feels heavy for people to notice that someone's filming and then for me to be like,
yes.
And so I actually don't mind that they do that, especially if I get that moment with them and then that's it.
Yes.
You know, if they try to bring it back out or something and it's like, oh, that starts to get annoying. But it like most of these things where I'm stopping the show to like put someone back in their lane is really is I think intriguing. It adds to the show.
That's fair.
Yeah, which I think that my disclaimer does too. Just to swing back on that topic, I think the disclaimer makes the show better.
Yes,
not worse. And but yeah, so were you gonna?
Maybe we're gonna see. This is gonna be either incredible or an absolute bust.
Well, hold on.
We're gonna find out.
First of all,
yes,
you took your finger off. So
I did what now?
You took your finger off a second ago.
I did.
So Jesus Christ! So did you see that?
I see it. I see it on the big screen.
This is not AI. This is not CGI. This is the real deal.
You know they're going to be able to back.
I know.
It's back on.
That's not the trick, though. That's not the trick.
All right.
To your right, to my left, you see a notepad with a black marker there. Do you mind grabbing that, please?
I don't mind grabbing that. I have to think about it.
Now, here's the deal. I also have pad of paper and a marker. You and I are going to draw something, and I feel like we're so in sync that I want it to be, I just want it to come natural to you. I don't want you to try to do anything fancy. I just want it to, imagine we're at a show, and this is the way it is.
Imagine we're on a podcast.
Imagine we're on the Hey Big Head show, which is the Vegas local podcast.
Hypothetically speaking.
Julie, I want you to give us an animal that we could draw that I think that he and I are going to draw in very similar fashions, if you don't mind.
Well, I guess I learned earlier that in addition to him having a scorpion, he also has cats.
He does.
So I'd like to see that, maybe.
Let's draw a cat.
Let's draw a cat.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
This kind of feels like a game show.
This is a whiteboard marker.
You know what it is? You want us to get Sharpies?
No.
In this economy? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Okay. Okay. Let me know when you're done.
I'm getting there.
I'm slowly getting there, too. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Yeah, I feel like we're in sync. I feel like you and I are exactly where we should be. And then...
My God, if this works.
Call Darren Brown. Call Del Rey.
I might be able to call Del Rey.
We're going to do one more. Julie, let's give it a name. I want to see if he and I have the same handwriting, too. I don't know. We'll see. What's our cat's name?
We'll go with Chester.
Let's do Chester.
Good name.
It's a fantastic name.
Like Chester Cheeto.
Chester Cheeto. Okay. Kent, I'd like for you to do a favor for me.
Sure.
On the count of 3, I want us to hold up our drawings, and let's just see if we're so in sync that we drew the same thing in the same style in the same handwriting.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. How about that?
That is
Son of a
close.
gun! Are you kidding me right now?
It's almost like I drew that.
Almost.
Crazy. Wait a second.
The underline too?
The underline.
The underline?
The underline.
My
It's
God.
like I've practiced it.
My God.
Like I've done it before.
You know what?
Wait, did you also take off your... Hold on. Oh, wait, that was bad.
My God. I don't know how you did that. We're going to have to ask the Oracle. How that happened.
Yeah. It'll have the wrong answer for that one, actually.
It's almost like we went dumpster diving after your show,
Yeah.
since you said the 25 seats are behind the dumpster.
Yeah, are you picking through my trash? That was dope. This was cool.
Nicely done.
Yeah, wow. I should think about doing something like this in the show.
You should probably incorporate that in your act. Call me crazy.
I might do that.
You know what?
We'll find out.
Live a little.
We'll find. Well, this is one of the beautiful things, actually, I've noticed in the show. This is something for my magicians and for the people who are coming. You'll forget that before you come. And then you'll be like, hey, wait a second, on your like 5th watch of this podcast for SEO purposes. Your 5th full watch, by the way. None of that like 15-second garbage,
no.
right?
We want the full.
Your 5th
full deal.
watch with your 5th thoughtful comment that they will reply to.
Of course you will.
You'll start to notice. You'll be like, damn, that's familiar somehow. And there's this thing where people who come to the show multiple times, they start to notice that some things are similar or familiar.
Sure.
And it's really interesting. I got this question a lot from magicians. It's like, does that affect the show negatively? Where people are seeing, they're sort of starting to get the idea of what's coming next, and they feel like they can see behind the curtain a little bit. And the answer, they're like, does that just affect the show negatively? The answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I think this is, and I've asked this directly to people. Whenever someone says, "Oh, this is our 3rd time," or whatever, or "Oh, this is the thing we love to do in Vegas," and that's just like my spooky people, or whatever. Like some couple from Connecticut just came the other night, and it was their 4th time. Like every time they come to Vegas, they come to see the show.
That's awesome.
And I keep telling them to message me because they've supported enough, right? I don't want to like stop. I want to stop taking money from their kids, but it's cool. And I'm like, I always ask them, does the fact that you are noticing more, because you have to be noticing more.
Do you recognize them, by the way?
Yes. When people have come that much, I will often recognize them, because they'll often, by the 2nd or 3rd time, they'll buy the front row seats, and then I'm looking at those faces for like basically 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And if I don't recognize them, oh my God, it was so sweet. A guy had come, slight departure. A guy had come with his father about 3 months ago, and his father was rather old, and they had the VIP experience, which we do, we taught them some magic and did some more magic privately for them, and he was just a total, totally energetic old guy, but was clearly like, he was
up
there. And then that guy came again, alone, recently, like a week ago. And it was so sweet because he was like, this was a great experience. My father had such a good time, and he was talking about it till he passed. And I was like, was a really, really sweet thing. And the show can be pretty heartwarming and pretty touching at the end. And I like that. And there's, not to like continuously sing the praises of the show, but when people return and they say things like that, it just makes me feel good.
Absolutely.
And so, but to the question at hand, when people show up multiple times and they and I ask them, does it make it better? They have, or does it make it worse rather, that you sort of know what's coming in some senses? And they say, oh no. Usually they report those are the moments where they since they know what's coming, they don't have to watch the stage, they get to watch everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting thought for me.
Ah.
And it makes me feel like, if I can speak to my magi for a moment, it makes me feel like I should have like a Ghost Stories Inner Circle Club or something.
Sure.
Where you're on like a list, after your 3rd time, and that list now, I don't know. I really don't know.
You get a different sense of enjoyment of the show.
And it's like there's sometimes where I need people to say a certain thing and they won't say the thing. But I've made it so obvious what they're supposed to say, and they just refuse to say. For some reason, they can't read. They've taken a tremendous amount of mushrooms or LSD, like whatever it is, and they just can't.
I apologize to you already about this. Okay, you don't have to bring it up on the show.
Listen, I'll provide it for you next time. I just won't call on you.
Thank you.
But and if I have someone in the audience who's seen the show multiple times, and I know that, and they know what's supposed to happen, and they know the struggle that I'm currently having, I can just look at them and say, okay, you know what? Let's do it this way. You name anything.
That's happened before?
That has happened.
Wow, what an opportunity that is.
It's a great opportunity.
Yes.
And so now in my mind, I'm like, I wonder if that can just be manufactured. Like if somebody's come and seen it, like if people get a pleasure from being in this sort of intimate environment and peeking behind the curtain a little bit, and I get, one or two of those people in the crowd per week, right? If they have a little pin or something that tells me that's a we've seen it 5 times and we got the text about what zoo animal to name or something like that. Like, man, that's kind of a cool thing to like ring in and like make you feel like you're really you're there. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I actually want to do that because, the having plants feels kind of strange. But not that we would ever do that. Not that we would ever.
You do not have plants in your show. I can assure you that.
No, I don't. But I eat plants.
That was the most unexpected. Out of all the things we talked about and all the things you've said, that was the most unexpected thing.
I work veganism into every conversation I have.
Oh, are you vegan?
It's part of the contract that you sign when you're
the waiver.
Giving your soul over.
It's in the waiver. Yes.
Yeah. I am. But 16 years, still waiting for that damn starvation to kick in. Still waiting for the protein deficiency to start. Any day now. Any day.
I believe in you.
But yeah, I don't know if we'll do that, but it just seems like kind of a cool thing to do.
It is cool when you have that. This is back on the podcast side of things. We had a guest on, Mike Davis. He's a TV personality, and
I know him. He came to cover Ghost Stories one time.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome guy.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He and I had a great episode, and even afterwards, he stuck around. He talked for like another hour and a half, and he's big on like the business and the strategy side of when it comes to creating a podcast and creating content that's engaging. And one of the things he said is, when you're on the right track when you have an inside joke that your fans and followers and viewers and listeners are in on. Like once they start saying it themselves, like, and they're posting it in, and reply to some of your posts or whatever. If there's an inside joke.
Yeah.
So they're part of it now too. And
exactly.
That's
like you're part of it.
Yes. And so that's what we're striving for and working towards is getting to that point organically, not trying to force an inside joke or anything like that. But that type of involvement that they're now part of the show, I can see this very much similarities between what you're discussing and what any podcast hopes to have with their demographic as well. Yeah,
that's like the like magic-y, like secret-y version of it. But like it could be something simple like they just get a pin and a special drink or something like that, like, or access to a secret menu or like whatever, I don't know. But just to feel like you're walking into a place where like, oh, you've earned some belonging here from showing up so much and get some recognition for it. But there is totally something to the idea that just when they come, if something is the same as it was the last time and they get the sense that it's supposed to be a surprise, and then they learn that it's not, and that it all wasn't so random. And it wasn't, when the spirit entered, that's the moment that the spirit was supposed to enter. Like that's just where that happens. Yeah. They start to get the feeling of like, oh, I like this play. Yeah. I like this play, and I get to see these other people enjoy this play for the first time. Mm-hmm.
Disney does a great job at it. Disneyland, Disney World, whatever. I'm not a Disney adult at all, but I have friends that are, and they're adamant on the fact that they're on a next tier up, and they have extra access or extra special pin.
Club 33, man. Yeah.
Are you a Disney adult?
I long to be a Disney adult.
Be honest.
I don't have.
Be real.
Although I got to be honest. My girlfriend it has been a whirlwind of travel in the past like 10 months or so, crazy. We have until January to get me to Paris and to get her and me to Shanghai to be able to say that we've been to every single Disney on the planet within 1 year.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think that makes me a Disney adult.
I'm pretty sure that qualifies you as Disney adult.
Yeah, well, you know
Good
what?
for you.
Fuck it, I'm a Disney adult.
You know what? Live a little.
It's cool.
I'm assuming she is as well, or are you the one that kind of...
No, she's the one that leads that parade, but and she's the one that has all the information, all the knowledge. I got to tell you, Tokyo, Disney Sea, so crazy.
Really?
Crazy good, yeah, crazy. They've got a Journey to the Center of the Earth ride that is fucking nuts. Worth the extra like $60 to just cut to the front.
That good, huh?
Yeah, well, you don't want to wait 4 hours.
Yeah.
You could be walking around Disney Sea.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
No, I get it. Hey, listen.
Save some money. It's cool.
I've been to +1 to Disneyland, and you definitely pay extra to get a better experience for sure.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it's worth it. It's worth it to cut the line. I gotta say, like, just do it.
Yeah,
just do it. If you want to go and have the experience, the full experience, just do it.
Wise word. If you're gonna take anything from this episode, it's
cut the line at Disney.
Cut the line at Disney from Kent Axell.
Yeah, you can do it financially, or you can do it with like elbows. Just like
move aside,
most
Grandpa.
of them are very small. You just pick them up and put them behind you. Like, what's happening?
Move aside, silly Billy. KJ's coming through.
KJ Kajillion.
KJ Kajillion is coming
That's right.
through.
I am here.
Here I am. When are you at Ghost Stories? What nights do you perform?
Currently we're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 p.m. We used to run 2 shows, and then gas prices went up or something. I don't know.
That whole thing.
We could probably run back into 2 shows, but you know what the problem was? We're doing a nearly 2-hour experience in in Vegas, which is like people are used to having like 70 minutes, and so we're trying to cut down to make it 90 minutes.
Are you really?
Yeah, we are trying, but it's hard because there's so much that's like, it's so juicy.
I couldn't imagine any part of that show getting cut. I feel like every
Don't
part
tell
of
me
it.
that, man.
Well, too late.
My consultation team is rolling around right now on the ground, being like, "No, don't tell him that. How much that can be cut." But no, I agree.
Have them talk. Have your people talk to my people. We'll throw you some ideas.
I don't know where I was going with that metaphor. I almost said rolling in their graves, but they're not dead.
So they're rolling on the
Yeah,
ground.
they're just rolling around on the floor.
They're rolling around that damn hallway. That's what they're doing.
Night crawlers.
What's Nightcrawlers, Kent?
What's night
Are
crawlers?
you kidding me?
I know what
We get
Nightcrawlers are.
blankets.
Everybody.
We roll around on the floor together. We underneath the blankets.
Day man.
It's fun.
Fighter of the night.
So anyway, I came in blasting. 4.
No, dude. I
It's
think that's
more than
8.
4.
I think that's 8.
You've been zoned in.
You're on the record.
Snorting up a storm.
Well done.
All right, good. I made the board.
Oh my God.
Well,
I'm
Kent,
crying.
this was fucking awesome.
What are we
man.
done?
We don't have to be done. We can keep going. I got so many other questions.
If you got another question, let's roll another question, man.
How deep do you want?
We were dwindling. You're talking about Disney adults. Let's get back in. That was the break. But I'm used to doing a 2-hour show, so.
Listen, we are almost at 2 hours.
Are we really?
Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
No, 151:10.
Yeah, hold on.
on.
Do you have people you need to check in with?
Why don't you go ahead and read my mind and tell me what I'm thinking about and
Go
what's
ahead and
going
write it down
on?
the piece of paper. Hold it up and put it in an envelope, and I'll tell you what it says. Does that sound Julie?
Sounds great.
Go read your body language.
Sounds great.
Other than
You tied your left shoe means that the medication is a suppository. That's
Perfect.
is that true, Julie?
Yep.
I knew it.
And it's for me.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh dear.
We did it, guys. We did a real mind reading.
Well done.
We did it. It was real.
What is? You have a
I'm a
girl?
magician. Magic is cool. Like this is like the ultimate like thing. Like there are so like when somebody is not willing to just tell the truth after they leave the stage, it feels to me so lonely.
How so?
It feels so, like you have to just like you can't like okay. I think like personally on a level of personal gain, I think people are really swinging toward valuing authenticity.
Everybody. I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, okay, you're gonna have to tell me more about that reaction, but But valuing authenticity, and when you leave the stage and you have to be like, no, I'm really psychic, right? And you're like, I bought my psychic show off of vanishinginc.com. like or Penguin Magic or whatever. Like if these are the secret, like, yes, and you can go and learn what I do from magic kits. Like you can learn, well, you can't you have to do a lot of theater and stuff and like write a show and like all that's cool, but like you can learn like the magic tricks from magic instructionals. Like that's fine. And I don't need to like lie to people off stage to like keep the mystique about the show. Like they're like it just feels inauthentic. It feels like a lie. It feels fraudulent. It feels like to have that type of existence would be lonely. Yeah. Would be lonely. I mean, to only be able to tell like a close inner circle that you're actually a magician or something like that, and that you have to keep telling people like in the media or anywhere. Like I don't know. I've done that. Yeah. I've done that. It was weird. It's not for you. Didn't like it. It was gross. You know, and there are people now that like totally are like incredibly inauthentic. Like I would, the example that comes to everyone's mind right now is every time I do mentalism outside in the world, I'm always asked if I'm aware of Oz Perlman. Always asked if I'm aware of, and Oz famously was on stage recently at the inaugural dinner. No, the correspondence dinner. Yeah, correspondence dinner. And just as he was doing a mentalism reveal to the president and Melania, the shooting rang out. That was the moment that it happened. The chaos. It was crazy. Really good publicity for him. I gotta imagine.
Fantastic publicity.
My God. But like, what he's doing seems incredibly inauthentic to me, rather. Inauthentic. Really? Yeah. He's a mentalist, and he calls himself a mentalist, and he might try to get away with it by saying like, oh, I'm trying to people should know what a mentalist is. Mm-hmm. They can look it up. They can look up his history. His history was that he was deep into a company called Penguin Magic. He did all their tutorials. Mm-hmm. And it's so clear that his history was in magic. But nowadays, he's all of his explanations as to how it works are directly in line with your original explanation for what mentalism is. Okay. And that's just not what the majority of it is. What the great majority of it is has nothing to do with things like what you see on the Mentalist TV show. No. The great majority of it is having some secret way of getting information and then pretending. No, you're pretending to know more or know less than you actually know at any given moment. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the larger deception. You're pretending to read the body language. You're pretending to get the intuitive feelings in the back of your brain. And it's just like in the theatrical context, of course, that's great. That's fun. That's fun. I want to be in a room with Sherlock Holmes. I really want to feel like I'm in a room with Sherlock Holmes for an hour or two. That sounds great. I want to feel like I'm in the room and a seance is happening for an hour or two. Like a psychic is there and they're really telling me deep stuff. But then when I leave, I don't want to take a bunch of unnecessary pseudoscientific garbage with me, if possible. And Oz is definitely trying to make you believe that he is, a real life Sherlock Holmes.
What would you prefer he would say then?
What I would prefer that he would say is
because the reason I got to imagine he's one of the biggest, especially right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's there because he does give that.
Yes. When I was doing the purely psychological version of this, right? So many people, so often, I would get people who are company owners and stuff like that come up and say, "Can you do like sales trainings with these techniques?" And I'd be like, "Oh, that sounds like so much money." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we got like a huge budget for that." And I'm like, "No. I can't.
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot do a sales training for your people based on what you just saw. I'm a magician." And it was really like, but I know a lot of mentalists who would just straightforwardly say, "Yes, I can." Yeah. you know, and then they'll just lie. They'll just lie, and they'll go and they'll study a little bit of body language and a little bit of like salesmanship and whatever, and then they'll just go and they'll do the sales training, and they'll be like, if you raise your eyebrows, it will elicit a response, and that's true to some degree. That's true, and you can use that in a theatrical context, and all of that stuff is true. But if I at all get the sense that someone who is asking me to do that is asking me based on what they think, that I will display an expertise that if you follow that line of expertise, you will eventually get to what I'm presenting on stage, that is fraudulent, right? That is a fraudulent sale. That is miseducation. That is misinformation, and it also it's what's the word? False advertisement.
Sure.
Basically, if they think that I'm going to go and teach the skills that are the beginning skills to reach that point, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. So if I can explain that away from them, and then they're like, oh yeah, no, we just like we like your personality and your charisma and whatever. We want you to teach some of that. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but I have to make it like super perfectly clear what's actually happening. And Oz does not feel that necessity. In fact, he will go so far as to say that what he is doing is not magic. Or he might say at this point that it's a form of magic, because he's been feeling some pressure from that recently, I think. So what I would prefer Oz say, listen up, Oz, you millionaire,
You son of a god.
who performs for the president, I got some advice for you. All right.
It's me, Kent here.
It's me, Kent. I do spooky magic.
KJ.
KJ Kajillion here, talking to Oz Perlman. Listen here, fella. I don't know what he should say.
You know, that's all right.
I don't know. I think that
It's working for him, and he's able to live with
working
it.
for him very well.
And he's able to be okay with it.
And he's able to internally justify in some way what he's doing. I don't know how one does that, because I cannot do that now. And I think it would be probably unwise of Oz from a marketing perspective,
Yes.
to have a conversation with someone who is opposed to that kind of thing and also knowledgeable about mentalism and magic. And so I don't think he will ever do that. But I would obviously love to have a conversation with him about it, because if he can convince me to start that it's cool to do that, I'd
Good for him.
start doing it.
Yeah.
Same thing with my non-vegans. Like, convince me that there is something ethically consistent about loving animals and eating them, and I will happily, put the steak back on my plate.
This ties into my next question, which is totally relevant, but three things. It's the...
We'll get your husband his medication soon.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
He's on speed dial.
All right.
We have your passion for performances, your passion or your interest in horror and all that
Spooky stuff.
stuff, and then eating animals ties into a movie we were talking about, Obsession.
Oh my gosh.
Thoughts?
Dude, Obsession is so good.
Is that the best horror movie you've seen in a long time?
In a long time. Yes, in a long time. It strikes such a good chord,
And it's so unique. It's so new.
Yeah.
It's so different than anything else.
The whimsy of the stuff that doesn't matter to the story makes the story so much better.
What do you mean?
When I say that, I mean the phone call that he made to customer service.
Oh my God.
Right? Holy shit. Like, okay, in this world that they built, that's perfectly congruent.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you absolutely don't expect it.
Yeah.
You expect them to be like, kind of like, what are you talking about? Or something like they're in the mystery box outside of this brand or this company or whatever. And what you get is just insane, completely out of left field, and also perfectly aligned with the story. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, whatever that phone call would yield doesn't matter, but the choices that they made in the writing were so good.
Even the cashier, when he went back to it.
Oh, when he joked with the cashier, joked with him, and he was like, "What's that?"
That was so rare. It's like, what's that? It's right next to you.
Yeah, no, it's right here. I'm just kidding. I'm pulling you back. Yeah, we've had a lot of complaints about these things. Did you not read the package, or?
So good.
If you haven't seen Obsession, Obsession is a absolute must for any horror fan or anything like that. Also, well, we were talking about how lovely it is that it's just like demolishing Hollywood.
Yes.
Where it's like they made it for like under $1 million and it's just sweeping box office. And it's a horror movie, which is not likely to sweep the box office like that.
Right.
And same thing with Backrooms, to a slightly lesser degree, but Backrooms I think was made for under 10 million. And I think that in its opening weekend, I don't know, nationally it made over like 150 million or something like that. Crazy. And if you like Backrooms, if you like that mythos from, I mean, I got nothing super interesting to say about either of these films, except that I love that they're just destroying these like $100-200 million movies and breaking records everywhere and just so exquisitely made.
Yes.
You know, like, I mean, damn.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
We need more of that. That will get people back to the theaters.
And it's lovely that I can't remember what we were talking about earlier, but the gates are swinging open now for a lot of things, and for a lot of these types of films. You know, for like you can now, like, I mean, think of the Will Smith spaghetti video with AI from like 2 or 3 years ago.
How
and
ridiculous
how
it was.
It is now.
Yes.
Right? That was already really impressive. But now you almost can't tell. And it's like on the first glance, you actually can't. And so what we're doing now, like, I mean, I don't know, there's always going to be some, regardless, the tools for filmmaking are getting crazy and expensive. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And for stuff that would normally have to be big budget.
Yeah.
And I can only think of what's going to be available in 5 years. And like things like Obsession might end up being a like a warm blanket of like nostalgic past when all the films weren't using AI and green screen.
Right.
And or like using practical effects, or AI might just like open up the floodgates for filmmakers who have great ideas and want to like, pitch them to studios or make their own studio. Like, you can buy a camera that you can do a really good movie on at this point for like pennies compared to what the bigger studios think that they need.
Sure.
And it's It's amazing. We're in a great time, and Obsession is like a great bookmark.
It's such a good milestone, and getting to that Will Smith thing, like the Will Smith video of 3 years ago compared to where it is today, it's gotten tremendously better, and it's going to get better and faster over time. The amount of videos that even like I'm pretty well versed in being able to pinpoint when something's real and something's fake, but even I'm now second guessing myself every now and then of like, is this real? Is this fake? The amount of videos that my dad has sent me that isn't real.
Yeah, and you're like, Dad, that's AI.
Exactly.
And that was happening around the Will Smith for the first video. This guy looks a
not
little funny,
there,
but man, can he eat spaghetti?
Oh my God.
So I did a lot of research on you,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I did a ton of research. And, of course, I saw about your background in theater. I saw about you growing up and learning magic. I know all about your uncle. But I am curious about your background in a cappella.
Oh, my God.
I did. I actually sang my own rendition to your a cappella instrumental covers that you were creating. What is your favorite memory of your a cappella troupe or career, you might call it?
So I got a love early on for college a cappella groups, and I thought that they were just so cool. This was way before like the Pentatonics or whatever. Like,
okay, Bart and Bella.
Say it again.
I said, okay, Bart and Bella.
Yes, yeah. And the Brown Derbies were some of my favorites, and I had this like, I was burning CDs with all of these a cappella troops on them. I thought it was so cool, and the level of I don't know the beatboxing nowadays.
It's
Holy
insane.
Shit, man! Like, you see those guys do dubstep stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah. So I saw this great video the other day. Actually, I got to take a small aside. This guy. He was like this Indian kid, and on the caption said me imitating random noises.
Okay.
And he throws like an empty soda can over, or an empty bottle over his shoulder, and he goes across the floor, and he goes gang gang bang gang 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 gang. It was so awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, but anyway, so you see those? There's this in the beatbox world. There's this Asian guy who is like, all of his videos are in like a white room, and he takes a sound effect, whatever the sound effect is, and I don't. Oh my God! I'll send you the link next time I see one.
Please do.
But he takes the sound effect of whatever it is. Like somebody will like, one of those old washboards. They'll like run the back of a paintbrush down the washboard, and he'll just perfectly mimic the sound that it made.
And that's a real sound. It's not like they're not dubbing in the audio for it.
You listen to him do the other beatbox stuff, and it's just like,
that's amazing.
Insane. It's crazy. I don't know if it's fake, but I think it's not, because he does such incredible actual beatboxing. But yeah, my love for acapella came pretty quick, and it was because I was talentless with instruments.
Hey.
Yes, but I like music. So hey, so I had an acapella group in high school that I ran, and the Cliffhangers. That's not a joke. Why is that funny?
I'm not laughing. That's a great name.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic name.
Yeah, it's...
I think the way you said it. The way you said it, first of all.
There's a term in drama called a cliffhanger, you see.
Thank you.
And there's a musical term called a clef. So there's that. You understand.
Now, you had the video where it was almost like a Brady Bunch style.
Yes. Okay. This is for a video game.
How long did League of Legends, right?
League of Legends. Yeah.
How long did that video take to make?
That took quite a while to make. Actually, we actually recorded that on a non-recording studio microphone. Like, sure. It was almost an onboard a webcam mic.
Yeah.
Like, it was not high quality at all. And I did a little bit of mixing for it, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But the League of Legends community got a hold of that, and that went pretty far. I mean, I think that video has something like almost 1 million views on it, which is pretty cool.
I mean, I don't know if you still do or not, but you had a strong following with the League of Legends. Yeah,
that group was after EMDA, and that was some of the people that I had met at EMDA, and a lot of us were League players, and there was a I like. This is a weird thing to say, but that was an example of how I feel about sort of immersion in theater,
sure,
where everything sort of has a rhyme or a reason. So there were a lot of or you take as much of it as a rhyme or reason as possible. So there were a lot of videos at that time of people who were doing a cappella.
Yeah,
a lot of it was self-recorded tracks of like the multiple camera Brady Bunch thing, right? And in wanting to do a League of Legends parody song with my group, I was like, what would be the coolest thing for this is if these faces had a reason for existing, And so it's like we were all on the same league team, was the idea. And all of the lyrics around those videos were something that one might say, if you stretch the imagination just a little bit, in an actual game. Minus the beatboxing, of course, which is kind of harder to justify. Now that I think about it, he could have been like choking on something. But yeah, and then the video, of course, was like the video screens would have been sort of like our almost like Skype or Zoom chat in game, right? Which is, it's just on the edge of believable. It's in that immersion where you're like, okay, I get this. This is cute. These video screens have a reason for existing in a sense, right? These are their webcams or they're playing the video game. Yeah. And we did 2 of those. I did a third one with my buddy Alan, which was like way less popular, but we did Panic at the Nexus and Pwn Your Face, right? That was a Panic at the Disco parody and a Lady Gaga parody. Yeah. And both of those were super fun.
Love that.
The first one that we did, we actually got contacted by Riot Games.
Really?
Yeah, we got contacted by them to do more, and we couldn't really get it together in time, in the time frame that they wanted us to.
That's too bad.
And so that was, whatever. They featured us in their, they did like a weekly.
That's cool.
Like, here's what the fans are doing kind of thing, and they featured us, and that was really helpful. And then we did do the next one, and we teased at one, or I teased at one of the video. Called ELO Hell, based off of was it the White Tees? Gives You Hell? I can't remember the
All American.
Yes, that's right. The All American Rejects. And we never released that one. So people 10 years later on that video were like, "Where's the All American Rejects one? Where's ELO Hell?"
That's great.
It was funny. And but then they actually started putting out a music contest. Riot Games actually started putting out a music contest because they were like, "This is dope."
Yeah.
And then there were a lot of parody / not really parody people who came in, and they started doing these actual really super produced songs and rap tunes and group effort things. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Then I did one more of those. It wasn't an a cappella thing, but did a rap tune for 2K. Was it 2K Software? I can't remember. It was for a Tribes game, Tribes Ascension. Yeah. And Tribes was one of my favorite franchises. I loved that game. But it was basically capture the flag with jetpacks and guns, right? It's awesome.
Who wouldn't love that?
Who wouldn't love that?
Come on.
It was great. I would still play that game today if I could, and it came from 1997 or something. It was so
great.
good. Around the same era as Unreal Tournament and Quake 3, that kind of thing.
Do you still game right now?
Totally.
Do you really?
Totally.
What do you play?
A LAN party on Monday.
Do you really?
I am having a LAN party on Monday. Yes.
What are you
playing?
playing?
StarCraft 2 and Counter-Strike.
Really?
Yep.
No shit.
Yeah. Why do you?
Casually. I'm more of a single player type of guy. I don't do MMOs or anything or any of the the other ones because I'm just after a long day's work, I'm not as good at video games anymore. And when I play against other people, especially if it's a competitive Call of Duty or something like that, last thing I want to do is come home after a long, stressful day and get teabagged by some kid in Iowa. I just want to enjoy the few hours that I have being able to
Dad, I killed him.
Exactly. It's the last thing. So.
I'm 4.
Thanks, Andrew. That was my Andrew Sklar buddy.
So yes, but you LAN party, huh? Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, I have game nights every Wednesday. I'm a big tabletop games fan.
Nice.
Never played D&D, but I want to. It sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And we do game nights every Wednesday. I've got like at this point probably 2,200 board games in my collection.
Shit.
Yeah, it's quite extensive. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been a fun journey. Many of them are still in plastic.
That's
okay.
Yeah, we'll get there someday.
They'll hit the table someday. Who knows? Or I'll just put them in the Ghost Stories room behind 7-Eleven.
And we'll dig them out of the trash and show them on our next episode.
A cappella. That is a hell of a thing.
That was a deep pull.
Thank you for that. That's a deep pull.
That was a deep pull. I was on the fence on whether we were going to bring that up or not. And I was like, I'm going to get a vibe to see how the episode's going. And then honestly, midway through, I'm like, oh, that would be perfect. And then I forgot about it. So I'm glad Julie.
I'll never forget.
We are.
I hear your rendition of the Ping song in my sleep.
Oh, I forgot I did that one. That's so funny. Okay. Yeah, that's
She knows more about you than you know about you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember filming that with my brother in my living room. With the hat going around the stairs. Oh, that was so fun.
Look at you.
Oh my God.
Look at you.
How cool.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
We'll walk down memory lane.
I think we're 1/10 into the episode.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
This is the appetizer.
Somebody better order food.
Yeah. Holy shit.
All right, let's get out of here because Julie's getting hangry.
Yeah.
I don't want the whole thing. But Kent, where can people find you online?
Well, they can find me on. We didn't even talk about the Banachek thing. Just real quick, I'm doing a. So there's a very prolific mentalist called Banachek. Who, if you're in the magic world, you probably already heard of. But he did a show at the Stratosphere here on the main stage for a couple of years. I started there stage managing for him right after the pandemic, and then I moved out of that and went to some other performance opportunities, but eventually into Ghost Stories, which we didn't really tell a history about, but basically just performers have a gig salad page. Just have a gig salad page. Just trust me.
A gig salad page?
Gig salad.
What is that?
It's like Craigslist for entertainers.
Okay.
Yeah, like performers will know about these things, like the Bash, Gig Salad, Thumbtack. Basically, the guy who brought me, like I said, Magician Study used to be in that room that I'm in. The guy who brought me in for Ghost Stories, the owner of that venue, he found me on one of these sites. Right, it was Gig Salad specifically, but it was like think of it like a Craigslist, like a classifieds for performers, like they connect performers with. And Thumbtack is another one, and Bark is another one, but those are not just for performers. Like you can find the guy that'll do your floors or whatever.
Right, contractors. And
contractors.
And
But yeah, one of these sites that connect you with people who need entertainment. Be on them, and have high quality shit on them because man, Ghost Stories is proximally. Gig Salad is proximally responsible for Ghost Stories. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other factors involved, but my God, like have those pages, be out there. But anyway, so Banachek was at the main stage at the Stratosphere, and we became good friends, and now we're running a sort of workshop for magicians in Orlando at the end of August. So
nice.
It's kind of a high ticket thing, but like you can find me, and I'm going to tell you where to find me. But if you look that up, you'll find it. We're doing it's at the Magic Mansion, and we're calling it the Mentalism Boot Camp, and it's a 3 full day intensive on how to mentalize and how to add some theatrical elements to your performances. But you have no reason to trust me on that, but Banachek. Hey, that's
I've only heard good things about him.
Well, yeah,
Only heard good things.
So, so you can find me. My socials are all just my name, Kent Axell, at Kent Axell. And
have I been saying is it Axell, not Axel? I've been saying Axel.
Both. It's effectively both. Depends on where you are.
No. Redoing the whole episode.
In
Starting
Sweden.
from the top.
In Sweden.
Axell.
It's Axell.
Son of a bitch. I am sorry.
Oh, son of a bitch.
It's those little. It's my fault.
I knew I hated you.
I knew there was something about me that you hated.
For a reason. I've been seething.
I know.
And that's a really comfortable thing for guys to do. You know, you ever just like seethe?
When's the last time you've seethed?
Seethed. It's been a long time. Well,
that's probably
actually
a good thing.
about an hour and a half ago when you called me Axel.
It's all been downhill since then.
Seethe. It's healthy.
Is it healthy?
Yeah.
It gives you wrinkles.
Clench your butthole and seethe. Don't do anything. Just bide your time. Just wait. Their time will come. The opportunity will arise. Isn't that right, Brandon? 9.
That was really good.
That was a good callback. Well done. That's why you're a professional. That's why you have a show on the Vegas Strip, you son of a bitch. Well done.
So yeah, find me anywhere. I'm really easy to find, actually. The Ghost Stories Instagram is Ghost Stories LV, and that needs more stuff on it. So if you're on the fence about coming to the show, go and look at the Google reviews. They're quite generous.
You have incredible reviews.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's. You know, we're kind of cheat coding it though. You know, we're like you cheat code a good response from people when you start to when you're doing good magic and when you're bringing up deceased loved ones.
Yeah.
You know, it's an emotional feeling in the room. So
yeah,
it's a good cheat code for sure. And but yeah, come and see it. Come and see it, and reach out to me. I'm very easy to find if you. Need any help on something theatrical, something immersive, or something magical?
Love that.
Or if there's any other thing you think I could.
You want to talk about movies? We're talking about horror movies.
Yeah, you want to talk about horror movies? I'll tell you how good Obsession was again.
Again and again.
Need to learn how to beatbox? Call Kent.
Boots.
That's the start, baby. We did it.
We did it.
If you need to carry a tune, I mean, I like barbershop more now, but you know. Actually, I'm thinking about getting some. If you are a good bass, reach out to me.
We're looking for bass. We're looking for basses.
I'm actually a tenor, and like I need that grounding, you know.
Need a good bass.
Yeah.
I love
But
that.
keep an eye out for the new a cappella group. We're gonna call ourselves the
Big clefs.
Oh, God.
You put me on the spot.
I'm so glad he put you on the spot.
Exactly the name we're going with. Big clefts, baby.
Big clefts.
Big clefts. I have no clefts.
I do. I have a cleft chin.
You actually?
I do.
No shit.
Not crazy, but there's a. I'll show you later.
It's
All
there.
right, okay.
It's there.
Well,
Boys and girls, this is fun. Kent, you're a rock star.
thank you very much, man.
I love that, man.
It's been a pleasure. We got a tenth of the way through it, and we
We'll have to run it back again.
got 9 more to go.
Yes. Catch new episodes each week on HeyBigHead.com. Make sure to check out Kent Axell. That's,
Actually, yes.
Now I'm in my own head.
Actually,
We'll see you next week, boys and girls.
see you. Hey, man, that was awesome.
That was